From the roar of the crowd to the roar of the engine, this is Pit Pass.
Here's your host, Ron Fox.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to another edition of Pit Pass on WHVL. What a weekend of racing. The weather cooperated, and the World of Outlaws sprint car teams were in town. After being rained out on Wednesday, Lincoln Speedway hosted their first Outlaws event in 14 years on Thursday, and the PA posse prevailed with Double D Danny Dietrich taking the checkers. Then it was off to Williams Grove on Friday and Saturday. Fast Freddie Raymer was victorious on Friday. However, Saturday at the Grove, Steve Kinzer was able to keep the posse from the sweep. Anyways, glad you could join us. There are plenty of highlights on this week's show. Here's a look. We'll take a look at the racing action from Friday night at Bedford Speedway, where it was a night of firsts. Also, we will have a full program from the opener at Heston Speedway. And they look ahead to a couple of events to consider for this upcoming weekend. Near the end of last season, Bedford Speedway's future was in question. However, it is a new era at the historical track. At the helm is new promoter Joe Padula Jr., who has the same duties at Thunder Valley Raceway. And the Padula name is very familiar at Bedford. He follows in the footsteps of his father, who had the reins at the track for many years. So let's get started with a look at the super late models in action Friday night at Bedford Speedway. A couple of veterans would lead the field to the green for the 25-lap event. Chuck Kleiss in the 5 jumped to the lead from the pole position. The 17 of Wayne Johnson is challenged for the runner-up spot from Greg Fetters in the 39. As Fetters takes the spot, Matt Sponogle in the yellow number 8 is lurking not far behind in 4th. As they go through 3 and 4, Sponogle shoots to the outer groove. This opens up the door for the 7 of DJ Troutman and 76 Andy Haas to gain positions. Haas slows after contact with the 7 and falls behind Sponogle and others. One driver who started deep in the field was Scott Haas in the 21 machine. He is the all-time leader in late model victories at the track, in addition to being a 4-time champ. While the leaders started to check out on the rest of the field, there was a great battle for 6th between Troutman and the 8 of Scott LeBaron. Defending and 6-time champ Jack Pencil also looks to join the fun in the yellow 14 ride. Off of turn 2, LeBaron is able to displace Troutman for 6th, yet is still far behind the 5th place machine of Andy Haas. Haas would later take 4th place away from Sponogle as they exit turn 2. Up front, Kleiss continued to hold off Fetters by running the outer groove in the turns, while Fetters kept his machine on the bottom. A caution gives Fetters a better shot at the lead, but Kleiss gets a great jump on the single foul restart. Johnson, Andy Haas, and Sponogle run 3rd through 5th. One driver charging his way through the field was Brian Booz in the 31. Here he gets by Johnson as they start down the front stretch. That was for the 6th spot. Lap after lap, Kleiss and Fetters ran this way, again with Kleiss one groove higher through the turns. LeBaron would take the 3rd spot away from Andy Haas as the race drew to a close. Fetters could get within a couple of car lengths, but wasn't able to keep Chuck Kleiss from going on to collect his first super late model win at Bedford. His father, Tom, won 18 features at the Speedway. Chuck, congratulations on your first Bedford super late model win. Now you can join the ranks of your dad here at the Speedway.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. It's been a long time coming.
Like you said, it has been a long time. You've been competing here many years, including when your dad was racing here. How does it feel? I mean, this is a historic place to be able to put your name in the books.
Yeah, I've been wanting to win here for a long time. We've had a lot of seconds and thirds and even second and points, and just, I don't know, we just never could seem to put it together, but we finally did. I'm glad.
Fetters seemed like he was pretty much even with you. How were you able to hold him off?
Well, I had the line of pole start, makes it pretty easy, and it was working good on the high side. I didn't really know where they were, but I just stayed up there because it felt good. And Greg's a good racer. We run side by side a lot. I mean, we both run Thunder Valley and Bedford pretty much every week, and we've always run each other clean. I got no worries. I didn't really know he was back there. I could hear somebody every once in a while, but my car was good up high, so I just stayed there.
You said about running up high. It seems like the bottom, especially 3 and 4, was pretty rough. So did you intentionally stay out of that, or is that just where your car worked better on the top?
Well, I went low the first time on the first lap there in 1 and 2, and it didn't feel too good, so I wasn't sure where Wayne was at. He started on the outside of me there. I didn't want to squeeze him off, but I figured I was out in front of him, so I just went ahead and let it drift up there and see what it felt like on the high side. And it felt better, so I just stayed there. I figured I'd see what would happen from there.
Behind Kleiss and Fetters, it was Scott LeBaron, Andy Hawes, and Brian Booz. Like most tracks, Bedford Speedway is gearing up for their Memorial Day special. They will host a 3-State Flyers Super Late Model race on Monday, May 28th. We will have more from Friday's program at Bedford Speedway later in the show. Up next, it's off to Heston Speedway. 5 features, and we'll have them all right here on Pit Pass. That and more right after this.
When you think golf carts, think Jake's Custom Golf Carts. With over 300 stock and lifted carts at their shop, you'll find the cart you need or have Jake's build one to your specs. Custom airbrushing, lift kits, sport shifters, rear seats. You name it, with the expertise and craftsmanship people have come to expect from Jake's. Come see for yourself why Jake's is the nation's premier golf cart provider. Jake's Golf Carts, Route 522 McVeigh Town. Online at jakesgolfcarts.com.